Hello guys, my name is Khan, and actually in today's video I will show you guys that how we can explore more towards the descriptive statistics. Then I will also explain what box plot represents, and then finally we also discuss some z-scores. And along with this thing I will also show you guys that how you can edit your output view and how you can save your outputs from SPSS. So for this video, I already have created one data for file for you. Actually, as you can see that the file format is in actually SPSS format. So I just have to double click it and then SPSS will automatically open this file. So this is my actually data which I will be using, and as you can see that there are few missing values in the end for weight and foreign variable and also for length. And these are my variables. My foreign variable is already labeled, one for domestic and two for foreign. So now I will start analyzing my data. So suppose I want to know about these variables more. So I will go to my analyze tab, and then I will go to my descriptive statistics. And in my previous video I have gone into frequencies, and if I go back to frequencies, if I go to statistics, so this frequency option in SPSS provide you to opt different things, that different statistics that you want to show in your output window. But suppose if you are not particular about any statistics and you want to know as much as from the data, as much possible results from the data, then I will suggest you guys to go to explore. So if you go to explore, so first there is a dependent list. So for example, first I will just show what's about if I only select dependent list. So suppose if I select these three variables, car price, weight and length of car, and will select them. So I want my analysis to run over these three variables. And then if you go to this statistic option, so here there is a broader category. It's within the explore we have a broader category, the descriptives. Descriptives is checked in. It's mean that it will show us a wide variety of descriptives about these variable: minimum, maximum, median, mean, mode, all these kind of things. And within that you can also select outlier or percentiles. And if I continue with this continue, there is also an plots you can select, or plots which you can also draw for these variables. Suppose if I also want to know histogram for these variables, and I will further I will go in detail about the graph that it will plot later a bit in few minutes. If I select continue, and if I, as I said, that show display both statistics and plots, everything seems fine. If I press OK, and now if I look at my, so this is the explore function that I have used, and if I go back to my result window, so here in the first table SPSS is showing me these three variables have 13 observation, one is missing, 13 observation with the valid entries, all three have one entry with the missing observation, and total observations are 14 in my data. And after that you can see that now SPSS have given me descriptive stats. For firstly, for car price, mean 95% confidence interval, and then 5% terminate mean, median, variance, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, range of values, interquarter range, skewness, kurtosis. So you can see that SPSS is giving me a huge number of statistics when I'm using the explore option. And same for other variables too, like weight and length of car. And with this, I have also, it was also showing me the percentiles of variable. So as you can see that for weight, for car price, and for car price, it's giving me different percentiles statistics. And then it's also telling me the extreme values within my data. So if you see from this table, it's useful that if you want to see the outliers in your data, because sometimes outliers can impact your results, so it's better to improve those outliers. And then SPSS is plotting some graphs for me. Histogram is easy to understand. Within the histogram, the SPSS also usually by default calculate the mean and standard deviation and number of observation which are used to plot in this graph. And after that, there is a new plot that probably I will go more in detail. This plot is called as box plot. So in the box plot, this line which is plotted within this box is the median point which the observation which have the median value, and from this line till this line is the 25% of the data which lies in that range. And then from this line to this line, I think you have to note down my cursor position more precisely. From this line to this line, then the lowest quartile values exist. Then from this line to this line, my third quartile values exist. And then my last quartile, which contains the maximum values from here to here. And in this plot, SPSS by default consider this observation as my outlier value. So in box plot, sometimes the value is very huge. SPSS automatically decide that value is an outlier and don't show that value within these within this box plot or within this quartile, because box plots represent 4 quartiles. First from here to here, the second quartile from here to here, and then third quartile from here to here, and the fourth quartile from here to here. So, and the same thing is done for other variables too. As you can see that SPSS have also plotted the box plot for the length of car, but here SPSS haven't find any big value, so it's not showing me any outlier value. So this is a bit about how you can use the explore option within SPSS. And now I will show you guys about suppose there is another option within the descriptive statistics is the descriptives. But I think before going to further, I will explain more the explore command. So because I have selected these 3 variables, but suppose if you want to know the statistics based on the car make, the car is domestic or foreign. So if you have to do that, you just have to select that variable. Mostly this variable should be a categorical variable. In my data, in foreign we have 2 categories, but there could be 3 or 4 or maybe more than that categories too. And I want the same statistics again and same plots again. So everything is fine, but here the difference now, the new thing that I have added is the factor variable. So now probably SPSS will share the result by dividing between domestic and foreign cars. So if I said OK, and now you can see that SPSS is showing me the result by making a divide for each for car price variable. Then it's creating a divide between domestic and foreign, and it's showing me that there are 7 observations for domestic, 5 observations for foreign, and which are variable observations. Then there are missing values. And if you come here in the descriptive stats are also divided between domestic and foreign for each variable. And same as for the weight variable, domestic and foreign statistics are separated. So it's a good way to making a comparison between categories. And I think, and then we also have a percentiles based on domestic and foreign separately for each variable. And if also the same for the table for the extreme values, which can allow you to identify the outliers. And after that, we have a histograms, and it will also plot graphs separately for domestic and separately for foreign. Now, as you can see, I have a domestic, and now I have a graph for the observation just from which have category of foreign. And another thing, now important thing, is this box plot. In this box plot, we can easily compare the observation between domestics and foreign. As you can see in this graph, our domestic car prices are very converged, or in a smaller range, whereas the foreign prices have a very wider range. So this box plot can easily, from the box plot, it's very easier to make a comparison between observations. And in the same way, I think the plot is it have SPSS plotted the graphs for each variable, as I have used 3 variables, and then I am further categorized those 3 variables based on my foreign variable, which is a categorical variable. So now I will go back to my my data view, my variable view. So here, so again, I will I will try to explain you guys that when you know that which kind of statistics you want to get from SPSS, then it's better to use frequency option, and I have discussed this frequency option more in detail in my previous video. But if you want to know, if you are not precisely looking for only few statistics, then you can use this explore option. This explore option will give you a wide range of statistics. And now what I will do, I will also discuss this option within descriptive statistics. There is a option which is named as also descriptives. If I select that, and if I select all these 3 variables, and if I ask them to that I want the descriptive of these 3 variables, here is an option that saves standardized values as variables. And suppose if I select that, I will explain what does it mean in in few minutes. And if options, I think all options are same. You can further select different statistics here, but I think I'm happy with minimum maximum standard deviation. And if I select OK, now if you see that SPSS have created a table, very good looking table with the number of observation, total number of observation, minimum value, maximum value, mean, descriptive. It's a very you can easily get a very quick summary of these 3 variables. But if you guys remember that I have also opted an option in that when I was in that descriptive stats, that save standardized values as variable. What does it mean? So if I go back to my data, SPSS must have created 3 additional variables for me. So as you can see that I have 3 variables additional: Z price, Z weight, Z length. So what does it mean by Z price? Actually, this Z price is saying it's negative 0.8. It means that our price, which is this, is 0.8 deviation below the mean price. And again, this is negative, which means this price is 0.68 standard deviation below the mean price. And here, if you look the positive 0.57 mean that this price is 0.5 standard deviation above mean price. So Z prices or Z scores are actually standardized values, and it actually represents the standard deviation. The actual observation is above or below mean. So this is so it's more like calculating the observation in terms of standard deviations. So again, so if I go back to my result window, so suppose, so now I will tell you guys that how can you edit your output windows and how you can save your output window. Suppose if you want to edit this thing, so you can simply click, right click, and then can option that you want to edit it in viewer. So suppose if you want to give it a different name, explore data. So suppose if I said explore data, so I want to say it, you can also further change the styles of the format. You can make it italic, you can make it bold, you can make it also underline if you want to more further emphasize. You can play around these things. Suppose if you don't want to have this data, you just have to click this point and then you can just simply delete it, or you can just go to here, select that table. As you can see here where my cursor is, it's highlighted. If I want to delete, I can delete it simply. So SPSS provide you a flexibility to change your outer view tables, and after that, suppose if you're done with making changes, you can simply save it, and SPSS will ask you where you want to save. I want to save in my folder, so which is here, SPSS videos, and then I am working on this video, and suppose I'm calling it output 1. But here is an important thing, that that your result windows are saved as .spv file, whereas the data file are saved as .sav files. So if I save it here and my results got saved, so you can check that, okay, you can see my results are named as output 1. My data is this, but again if I go to properties, my data is a .sav file, whereas my output file is saved as .spv file. So suppose if I close everything here, so SPSS will ask me that you want to save this new variable that you've created. I said yes. So, and everything get closed. But if you want to, so now you can easily share this file with your supervisor if you want to discuss the results, or you want to show the results you got from your analysis. You can simply send this file. You can just simply open it, and it will show you again the results that you have created. So you don't need to again do this analysis. So, but the important thing is that the output file or your result file, don't save the data with it. The data file is separate and the output file is separate. So thank you for watching the video.